Hi, and welcome to Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Unusually, we've not done a montage at the beginning, but that's because of the seriousness of this particular piece that I want to highlight. So there's no making light of it, I'm afraid. So I'm going to go straight into the piece and we'll have a look. But it is pretty awful. Anyway, I shall put myself down in the corner and we shall take a look at this shameful incident, really. Right, so we're going to begin this piece from Breitbart. I'm going to read the headline. There was no male in the hospital. UK hospital covered up rape by trans patient. When we go through this story, you're not going to believe what was said and what was done. I've had to record this piece twice because the first time I did it, I couldn't believe what I was reading and I got so angry I had to get up, walk away, calm the hell down, and then come back and do it again. So I'm going to go and do it again. Here's the second reading of this for me. But be prepared to not believe this, but it's absolutely true. But we'll get into it. A National Health Service, NHS Hospital in Britain, told police that the rape of a woman on one of their supposedly single-sex wards by a trans patient could not have happened, as there was no male at the scene. So this woman was raped, but there was no male there. So presumably she was raped by another woman who just happened to have a huge cock. The attack took place in 2021 and was initially denied by hospital bosses, so they lied. Despite CCTV evidence, so they really lied, who insisted that the rape could not have happened as there was no male in the hospital. They really are good liars, aren't they? These lying liars. Technically, and here we go, and this is how they get away and justify their lying lies to cover up the rape of a woman supposedly in their care. The Sexual Offences Act of 2003 stipulates that a person, A, commits an offence of rape if he intentionally penetrates the vagina, anus or mouth of another person, B, with his penis. B does not consent to the penetration and A does not reasonably believe that B consents. So although a biologically male trans woman with intact genitalia is of course perfectly capable of perpetrating the deeds, they're not counted as a male and therefore the law doesn't apply. Bullshit. Because I don't care what you call yourself. You can call yourself Marjorie, throw on a frock, wear a pair of slingbacks. But if I felt under your undercarriage and there is the old meat and two veg, you're a man. And here's the really weird thing. Even if you've had them cut off, you're still a man. You're just a man with a scar. And a mental problem. But anyway, after the victim reported the attack, and I don't care, I'm probably going to get comments for this, but hey, I don't care. I don't care. Leave as many comments you like. Don't care. After the victim reported the attack, which took place on what was supposedly a single-sex ward, to the police, officers contacted the unnamed hospital, but were informed that there was no male in the hospital, therefore the rape could not have happened. So I hope that they're prosecuted for lying to the police and for obstruction of justice, at the very least, as well as being complicit in the rape. Because after all, they put a man on a woman-only ward, and therefore they're as guilty of the rape as the rapist, because penile penetration of a woman without consent is rape. They knew that, and they put a penis on the ward. They are guilty. 7, 8 years, whatever it is for rape. The board of directors of that hospital, every single one of them, 7 years, on a register, rest of their lives. They are rapists. They are as guilty of rape as the penetrator. Anyway, moving on. While it is unclear as of the time of publication if there have been any arrests, the police are reportedly carrying out an investigation into the rape. It is a rape, you see. They're investigating it as a rape, so it's a rape. The case has since been discussed in the British Parliament's House of Lords during a debate on single-sex wards, with Baroness Emma Nicholson of Winterbourne railing against the anonymous hospital. I think if she's got the thing, she should actually name the hospital. Parliamentary privilege, she could name the hospital and that'd be fine. And I think this hospital needs to be named in public. Anyway, it has taken nearly a year for the hospital to agree that there was a male on the ward, and yet this rape happened. So for a year, they've denied it for a year. They need to be taken to court for this. This is obstruction of justice. This is denial. This is appalling. Anyway, during that year, she, and I presume I mean the victim, has almost come to the edge of a nervous breakdown because being disbelieved about being raped in hospital has been such an appalling shock. I bet it has, love. The hospital, with all its CCTV, has had to admit the rape happened and that it was committed by a man. But they don't want to do that because their tiny, tiny balls are scared, saying, oh, we said it's a man, but it's actually a trans man, and therefore we'll be done for transphobia. Oh, flaming hell. Don't want to swear because, you know, my mother listens to this podcast. Speaking to Breitbart London, British actor turned political pundit and Reclaim Party leader Lawrence Fox condemned the hospital's response to the attack. His words: once society breaks down to such an extent that objective reality means nothing, these vile events will escalate exponentially. They certainly will. We must come together to protect women and attack the woke cultural revolution that seeks to remove all the rights brave women who have come before them have fought for. He's quite right. This is all to do with cancelling women because some mental case wants to be considered a woman even though he's got an XY chromosome, rippling muscles and a huge cock. Our fundamental institutions are all infected by this repellent ideology. He's right, because it is a cancer. And the woke lefty wankerati are the spreaders of this cancerous growth. And it needs to be excised from the body politic of this country. Baroness Nicholson has also accused the NHS of giving priority to trans people over women and undermining the dignity, privacy and safety of biologically female patients, or as I like to call them, women, through their Annex B policy. That Annex B, I don't know what the B stands for. Boobs, balls, bollocks. This policy cites the 2010 Equality Act to support their current decision-making process in determining what single-sex ward a transgender person should be placed on. Simple. Blood test. XX, lady, XY, men. There is no other choice. I don't care what you call yourself, and I don't care what operations you've had. You are biologically male for the rest of your life, Marjorie, you know. The policy also highlights what trans men and non-binary individuals can become pregnant. No, you can't. Here's the thing. Trans men can't become pregnant. Non-binaries can't become pregnant. The only people who can become pregnant are women. Argue with me. Put notes down in... Put lots and lots of comments down in my comment section. I'll ignore them all because I don't give a shit. Right. Nicholson went on to highlight the Orwellian nature of this policy, explaining that the result of Annex B is that hospital trusts... Now listen to this. This is frightening. The result of Annex B is that hospital trusts inform ward sisters and nurses that if there is a male as a trans person in a female ward and a female patient or anyone complains, they must be told that it's not true and that there is no male there. So you could be lying next to a bed. A woman could be lying, a vulnerable woman, possibly as the result of male violence from a domestic violence from a male attacker, could be lying in a hospital ward. She's vulnerable. She's scared. She's psychiatrically buggered. And she'll be laying next to some bloke called Keith, who now wants to be called Kylie, who's 6'3", rippling muscles and a huge cock. How is this possibly right? And then they're telling the NHS, they're telling sisters and these sisters and these nurses lie to people. Well, if you can't believe a word out of a fucking nurse's mouth, why are we even giving these people... Fire everyone. End the NHS. Private hospitals all the way, and then say we only treat biologically female women. We only treat biologically male men. And the others can fuck right off. Why are we trusting the medical profession who are being told to lie to patients? What next? Yes, your 6-year-old daughter wasn't raped because that woman, can't possibly have a huge cock. Even though we put your 6-year-old daughter in a woman-only ward, we put her next to Keith. But we're not going to tell you that, because we're going to lie to you. Because we're the NHS. Go fuck yourself, NHS. Go fuck yourself, you fucking wankers. Now I stopped that piece there. The original video went on for another 3-4 minutes of me just completely losing my rag. It wasn't pretty. I got very angry, and I think anyone who followed this story can imagine why I got angry. Put yourself in the position of one of these women, and then look across to the bed next to you and see a hulking bloke scratching his balls in a female-only ward. Now imagine that you're the father of a 6-year-old child, a girl, who's in for something, minor surgery, appendicitis, whatever it'll be. And she's recovering. She's had the operation. She's recovered. She's coming round. And you're going to leave her for the night. And luckily it's just you and the nurses who will lie to you and that bloke in the other bed. Still trust the NHS? No. So I think it's time we drew a veil over this trans crap. And we don't differentiate between what you call yourself or what you would like to be, but we do a simple blood test. And if you're male, you're male. If you're female, you're female. Whatever junk you've got between your legs is immaterial. Because I don't care if you're a man who's post-operative. You're a man with a scar. You're not a man with a vagina. You've got a post-operative scar. And that's it. Because you have got XY genes, you've got XY biology, XY ego, XY everything. And don't give me any bollock argument about, but, no. The line has to be drawn. And when women are being raped by other women with huge cocks, I think the line has been drawn. Anyway, I'm going to draw a line now on this video because I could go on for a long time and get very much more angry again. If you like what I do and say on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you ring the bell, you'll get notifications of other stuff. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you dislike this video, leave a comment. I respond to all comments, except in this one occasion. Because if you are one of those that's going to argue about trans rights or anything like that, please look at this face. I don't care. I really don't care. I care more about the victims than the perpetrators. So, that's how it is with me. I think the victims are all. But until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.